I actually want your opinion on this since you're in the military. Do you think women should be in the battlefield?
Yes and no. There are what I've seen. There are very few that have the ability and stamina to stick with the actual men. Don't get me wrong. There are also men that cannot handle combat MOS.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, fuck, I couldn't.
But there are
right
there are very few women in the DoD that can handle that type of onset of constant military combat pressure, just on and on and on and on and on. It's very rare. And you talk about now a genetic thing. Now their cycles are going to be completely destroyed from being in a combat zone and constantly out in the field.
I didn't think about the cycles.
That is a real thing. There was a Marine Corps captain that went into this whole process. She went into a combat zone with the ground combat troops, and her entire cycle, she was unfertile for like almost 2 years after the fact.
Holy shit!
Because she was in that combat zone, her entire cycle was completely wrecked. Her body was wrecked because of that kind of environment she was in constantly.
So how many women have you met in your time of service that you would say that are like that you would trust in that? Because I've always heard everything about like they're gonna hold people back just because they like there's a lot of factors with just not having the stamina like you said and all that kind of stuff. Like would you say you had like a handful or like a good amount?
In my career field, prior to me leaving the military on active duty going to retirement, I can honestly say maybe one or two.
And how long were you in the military? So people know.
Just shy of 20 years.
Shit, one or two.
Just shy of 20
but
years,
these bitches, like they were just not regular bitches, right?
No, I mean in my MOS, it's a different type of MOS.
It was like, no, they had wieners.
They were healthy. But what was with these two chicks that they were just the mentality was just totally different, or what was it? I'm just curious.
They seem to be in the mindset of not that I'm a woman, but we treated them. Those are the only two that I can remember off the top of my head that we treated like one of the guys. We didn't see her as a woman. We didn't see her as a fucking a guy or a girl. We saw her as a fucking an EOD technician. That's what we saw her as. I don't care.
Oh, okay. You're talking about in the EOD.
In the EOD field. Yeah. In the infantry side, I never saw. During my time frame in the infantry, we didn't see women in combat in that aspect.
But do you think those two would be in an infantry kind of setting? You think they'd make it?
I honestly don't know. I really don't know.
I'm always just curious about that.
From the perspective that I have from an EOD standpoint, it was more of they did their job just like any other Marine that should do the job in the EOD field.
And and can you explain what EOD is real fast?
EOD is the Explosive Ordnance Disposal. So I guess short story,
like
long story short,
Locker. What was that movie?
Yeah, long story short, Hurt Locker, bomb squad. We are the military's bomb squad. Some units in the Marine Corps, or particularly for me myself in the Marine Corps, was you're either a station side where you're dealing with stateside kind of responses and airline responses for like flight line, mishaps with an aircraft and their weaponry, or you're in a combat situation, or you're in a company where you're forward deployed, whether you're on ship or you're in a combat zone. You're dealing with IEDs or dealing with aircraft or any kind of other types of EOD or explosive ordnance related issues on an aircraft carrier or any kind of ship. That's where the EOD field is in the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay. Dude, it was a Hurt Locker. When you saw that movie, did it feel like, oh, dude, that's kind of real? It was Hollywood all the way?
Nope. It was all Hollywood.
Oh, really?
100%.
Damn, that makes me sad. What it's specifically that you can recall? Like, can you recall anything? Because I mean, I saw that movie.
So think about this.
When did that movie come out? First of all, it was like 15 years ago, like 10 years ago.
That was some time ago.
It was a while ago, man. But that was a really good movie, and I was like, damn, that's that shit. And that's before I met you. So
yeah.
What specifically do you think that's very off about it?
Nobody's gonna run in a bomb suit.
Oh, he does have that little. Oh, so there's no way you're gonna run in a bomb suit.
You can run, but you ain't running like that. So, and the other thing was, so there's one of the scenes where he's lifting up these what it looked like at least 155, so 155 millimeter artillery rounds, and he picks up the deck cord, which is the explosive detonating cord, and he picks it up and he's pulling up all these like 4 or 5 come up together. I don't know if you remember that scene in the movie.
I wouldn't recall that.
But he's picking it up. He's picking up this explosive cord from a long set, what we call a daisy chain of IEDs. He picks it up, and all these other munitions come up with it. There ain't no way in fucking hell that deck cord would stay in that explosive, because it's, again, you're talking about manufactured this thing weighs about almost 100 pounds. And then you're going to put explosives. So you're going to put C4 or TNT. You're going to stuff it in this hole where a fuse would go, about this big. And then you're going to put a piece of deck cord with a knot. So you're going to write this explosive cord. You're going to tie it in a rudimentary knot and stuff it in there. And then you expect to pick up 500 fucking pounds.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Oh, so he like, yeah. It's just physically impossible.
You're like, that shit ain't happening.
Oh, no. Wow. I always wonder like that kind of shit, right? Because it's
God damn you, Jeremy Renner.
God damn you fucking hurt locker. You fucking broke my heart.
The movie was, the movie was an interpretation. An interpretation of a story of several probably people that did that entire time during Iraq. Iraq was different, definitely from Afghanistan, and it's regards to EOD and the IED warfare crap.
So how hot are those suits? Like when you put it on, like what's like the okay? You know the temperature.
The second you put it on, you start to sweat.
So that part's real when he's just like dripping.
Yeah, the second that helmet closes, you are going to eventually, within seconds, you're going to start dripping sweat. That's an 80-pound suit. An 80-pound suit.
That's crazy. Dude.
Now the suit does come with like an internal, like almost
ventilator.
It's not a ventilator. It does have a cooling system for the helmet itself. So when the helmet's on, like the one you saw in the Hurt Locker, it's got like a tube on the back of the head, right? That's one of the old. That's an old series bomb suit. The new ones have an integrated cooling system on the back of the helmet. So it's got like an AC vent going through, pushing external air through to keep you cool. The rest of the suit, though, that's just 100% sucks.
It's all ball sweat and everything.
It's 100% ball sweat.
So like, I don't know. Are you just not claustrophobic? Like it. I mean, for me, I'm claustrophobic. I would fucking freak out.
If you're claustrophobic before the fact, and you put that suit on and try to walk around, you will 100% show signs and symptoms of claustrophobia. So
say that again. What was that?
So
claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia.
Oh, claustrophobia. I was like, what is that?
Claustrophobia.
I was like, whoa, what is that? That sounds hot.
I like that.
So put it this way.
Oh, dude, this conversation's turning me on.
Every technician, regardless, Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy, Army, whatever, they go through the process of screening their individuals before they go to the schoolhouse. At least they should. From the Marine Corps' perspective, we all put anybody that's going into the EOD field or wants to go into an EOD field, they put them in the bomb suit. That's part of the process, the screening process. So we'll put them in there for, I think, if I remember right, it was 20 to 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, shit. So just to see if they could take it.
The whole point is we're gonna stress you out. We're gonna physically exert you, and to make sure that you don't go claustrophobic. That's the whole point. You're gonna get tired. We know you're gonna get tired. We know it's gonna suck. You know you're gonna be a fucking pain. It's all about seeing if not you can mentally stay on task, and see if you freak out.
So about like how many like if you're talking about 10 people that go into that training, right? What would you say would like out of 10, how many would freak the fuck out? Like in your expertise, like is it 1 out of 5? I mean 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, or is it just always different?
It's different, I guess, because again, every person I've seen go through the process in my entire time of doing screenings, from being a sergeant, being all the way to master sergeant, learning and applying the techniques for going through the screening process, I've only seen one person freak out.
Oh wow! So the people that go in, they already have that mentality. Like I'm already like they're all right.
They're already set for it.
Yeah.
Mentally set for it.
They were mentally like there. Dude, I freaked the fuck out, dude. In 2 seconds, right when you put it on. Ah!
Nah.
You ready?
I'll be the one guy who's like, fuck.
They'll be like, what a bitch. Like,
fuck it.
You're not supposed
you.
to shit in the suit, but okay.
Hey, I farted.
Tell us one of the craziest little stories you have of in a bomb situation in the field.
Well, it's hard to say about a bomb situation. So one of the
IED, right?
So one of the most interesting IED scenarios I've ever had was what we called an MRAP, or it was a MAT V. Sorry, MAT V. It's an up-armored new version Humvee. So the Humvees went from what you would recognize in the Hollywood movies and stuff to this huge ass tan up-armored 4-wheel vehicle.
Yeah,
got a Humvee from a skank once.
I mean, nothing wrong with the good old
it's a
Hummer.
little different than that. This one had wheels.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It depends how big she was, then she might have had wheels.
She was huge.
But she only had 2 wheels.
She was a torta. Now, go ahead.
I get called out because this MRAP or Matt V he's rolling through the desert, hits a soft spot, and he drops into the earth and comes back up. So it's soft sand. He hits it and pops out. And apparently,
Is this in Afghanistan or Iraq?
this is in Afghanistan. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And when his vehicle comes back out, his Under Armour plate pulls out an IED.
Ooh.
So he was lucky it didn't detonate. And the most interesting part of this is that what the driver told me when I went up to them, I was like, hey, what's the situation? What's happening? The motherfucker tells me, hey, can you not blow up my truck because I got my computer in there? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm about to go downrange on an IED. Do you really fucking think I give two fucks about your goddamn fucking laptop with porn on it?
But I'll do what I can, sir, for that laptop.
In his defense, was it Jav?
Unknown.
I'm just looking at.
If you would have specified, hey, I got some, good old, some
I got some good old Japanese adult
I'm like,
videos.
okay, I'll help you out.
Oh, but I'll definitely do my best on this one, sir.
I am sorry, sir. I will get your laptop to safety.
Hey, we're gonna get through this.
But none of that was specified prior to the engagement.
Oh shit!
Nevertheless, I go out there. He gives me his fucking sob story. I look at him like, you're fucking retarded. Get the fuck away from me. And he shut up and just go away. Which is the typical attitude of most people. It's like, you know what? Okay, I don't care about your story. Just shut up. Let me do my job, and then I'll leave. It's that simple. Anyways, so I do a scenario. So I look at it. I'm like, all right, cool. My robot's not going to fit underneath it. How am I going to go about this? So I'm like, I'm going hands-on. I'm going to go with my own fucking hands and my fucking little scissors and do what I got to do like you see in the fucking Hollywood movies. Never my intent.
Oh, it's like executive decision. What's going on?
Yeah.
Cut the blue wire.
So the robot.
They're all blue.
The robot is like a little car thing. I mean,
So
like a remote.
one of the robots we have is about 80 pounds.
It's like,
Holy shit.
it's like Johnny Five.
That's a big ass robot.
So we actually have it's called a RONS. We don't. That's more for like a stateside call.
Oh.
So like when we have like a car bomb or something, got a stateside call. When you see the LA bomb squad, they have a huge ass what we call a RONS, huge ass fucking wheel things like Johnny Five. This one is a lot smaller. One person should be able to carry it, which is a different story. And then we have a smaller one, which is called a pack bot, which is literally supposed to be on a backpack. I used the RONS. That's what we had in our truck. But the way the truck was orientated on the bomb, on the IED, I'm like, it's not going to fit. I won't be able to fit it in there and maneuver it the way I need to do its job. So, I get on there, hands and knees, and I start crawling underneath it. And the picture, you saw that cigar box I brought home that one time. That picture is me doing that scenario.
I want to know though. Like I think everybody would want to know. Like in your head, what's going on when you're like, I'm about to fucking go dismantle this fucking IED, and at any moment I could just fucking like gone.
It's
I would want to know that.
The thought process for everyone is different. The very first IED I did, I was scared shitless, 100%. I'm like, no, if my training didn't work, I'm not going to know it because it'll be the last time I ever see this. And it succeeded. So I'm like, okay. After that, everything else was literally just going through what I knew, what I trained for.
Just muscle memory.
Muscle memory. Well, it wasn't even muscle memory.
I mean,
but every situation.
Mental memory.
Mental memory is whatever. Yeah, but
every situation was different. For the most part, every ID had its own, unique differences. And as the war went on, over the years, IDs became more complex. So you went from a rudimentary, pressure plate where somebody steps on it, a troop steps on it, or a vehicle rolls over it, and it detonates. And this was a dramatic change from Iraq. Iraq was completely different. Iraq was using military-grade munitions with radio base stations and other IED plates they had to be concealed very as well as they could on a roadside. When you came to Afghanistan, it was more, in the middle of nowhere, desert. They had to hide it in the fucking dirt on a walking path where the average civilian would go through. And also at the same time, they expect you to go through the American forces or any kind of coalition force.
Yeah, that's fucking wild though. I could imagine your first one. I would have been like, shit, myself.
I need to take a break. Hold on, I need to take a break. I need a new change.
That's fucking. But that kind of interests me. So it just took you one, and your confidence was like, I'm good.
No, because at that point it validated my training. It validated my. It validated everything I learned from those that taught me how to do what I need to do, understand the situation, learn how to view the scenario as, that's what it was. It was this scenario, specifically this scenario. It wasn't all these, there's these magic fucking IEDs everywhere. It's understanding that I'm here. Here's my problem. Is there another problem somewhere? Probably. But this is the one I'm worried about right now. And in the end, if I fuck up, it ain't my problem anymore.
I'm no longer here to have
That guy would never get his laptop again.
Yeah.
So how long is that training that you have to go through?
So to become an EOD technician, from no matter what service it is, at least we'll take it back. Air Force, Army, and Marine Corps, it is 9 months of training. 9 months of actual learning ground ordnance and the processes for disposal, understanding what explosives are, all the way down to its minutia. The Navy, after that 9 months, goes through an additional 2 months of underwater. So they specifically focus on torpedoes and underwater munitions, sea mines and things of that nature. So theirs is a little bit, extended because they have a specific task in the Department of the Navy.
So like in welding, are the people underwater, they're going to get paid more? I mean, is it like more dangerous? Because like welding, when you weld underwater, you're gonna get your salary is gonna be like a lot higher. Is that the case?
Every department of
because you're diving at the same time, right?
So
because they're diving.
Every branch of service is different regarding the pay on how their incentives are given. So the Navy, from what I understand and from what I remember, was most EOD units, specifically those that are the mobile units, kind of fall into the SOCOM realm because they have the ability to be attached to a SOCOM team. Obviously, each SEAL team has their own individual EOD technician, just like the Marine Corps' MARSOC, and MARSOC has a specific EOD trained personnel. So myself, I was just the Marine Corps EOD technician. If I wanted to go to the Special Forces side, I would have to go through a specific training to become a what we call a soft EOD technician, soft level 1 training.
So as of like now that you've done this for fucking years, so you just go in balls out like that fucking Tanusha. What was that little
The Tanuki?
Tanuki. You go in balls out like the Tanuki now. The Tanusha. I don't know what that is. So do you, like nowadays, you see an IED or whatever, you're just like, all right, good, or is it kind of advanced throughout the years, or you still fucking have that?
Oh, there's always going to be upgrades.
I'm sure there's upgrades, but do you feel like, shit, what is this? Or you're kind of like, I kind of got this.
So that wasn't in my training.
To this day,
I didn't see that in the book.
This thing has lights on it.
Since I left the military and retired, IEDs are not a part of my life anymore.
Oh, okay.
I do try to keep up to date on as much as I can regarding open publications, anything that comes open source regarding EOD tactics and EOD techniques throughout the world, from Africa, specifically Africa, because Africa is one of the biggest places where people are still combating IEDs from the Somali all the way to all those areas over there. They're still fighting the IED warfare. Obviously, Afghanistan, Iraq, and all those places. They're still, especially the Ukraine now, the Ukraine as well, and all those other places. I try to keep as up to date as possible, but for me specifically with my job, it's really no longer my concern. I try to stay updated so that when I do come across other organizations that seek our training for who I work for, we have as much up to date information to provide them the necessary training so they can go forward and do their job in a safe manner.
That's a crazy job when you think about it, dude. Just put on a fucking suit, 80 pounds, fucking going in and just like. Any little thing, if you do something wrong, like I would be like a Key and Peele? I'd just be sweating.
It always reminds me of
just
was it
I look like a waterfall when I get out. Hey, goddamn, is this
the movie The Abyss when he goes all the way down the trench? Remember when he's has that special suit and his one special light goes out? He has to get the glow stick. He's all. Oh.
So I've heard different things because I've talked to people about it. But what is the average temperature? I know Afghanistan gets a little chilly, right?
Depending on the time of the year and when in the evening, yes, it does get quite cold. There was times we get we'll start an operation like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm literally the second I stop moving, we're walking for several kilometers, we're nice and sweaty. The second you stop, you're just like fucking like let's go fucking walk some more.
I've heard Afghanistan gets a little chilly because it's mountainous, right?
Now, if you're in the mountain region, it snows. It's cold.
Yeah, it's like fucking.
In the southern region, in the evening hours, and in the right time of the year, it is very cold.
So does it have any like beautiful land? Is it a nice like? Did you have times where you're like, fuck, it's kind of beautiful here, or it's just not at all?
No.
Not at all.
The only time I ever thought that of anything in the deployment cycle was Iraq. There were times in Iraq where I was like on the Euphrates, and I'm like, there's fucking greenery. There's a river. It's actually pretty damn nice. I'm in my Humvee just sitting on here. I'm like, it's actually pretty fucking nice.
Hey, let's go fishing.
Because I always think about like in World War II, right? When they were going into Okinawa. In Okinawa, you were stationed there. I visited you there.
Yeah.
No, did I visit you there?
never
No,
visited
no, I
me, but
visited
we
you
were
in
at the same
Osaka.
time, though.
Yeah, we're there at the same time. And Osaka is just, I mean, Okinawa is a beautiful place. So I can just imagine like when they're sailing into Okinawa, they're just like, oh man, this place is nice.
Well,
we're about to go to hell though.
I don't want to fuck this place up.
You got to think though, but before they went into Okinawa, think about the time frame and what was happening. By the time the U.S. troops, while their vessels were approaching the beach land, a couple of miles out, or however far they were, that landing area that they visually saw was bombed to shit.
Yeah, I mean they bombarded the shit out of it for days. Yeah,
Just like every other island they went to, there was a bombardment.
and they were just hiding under tunnels, waiting. Bro.
Waiting. That's all it was.
Can you imagine though, like the psyche of that? Like, I went to those tunnels. I just posted a video about that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've been there as well.
Dude, it's a fuck. It's. I don't know how you felt, but I knew like. I felt just creepy, like because there's no tour. There's like you go in there and
It's a self tour.
yes, it's a self tour, and it's dude, it goes down, and a lot of people don't go there because Japanese people don't they don't want to do that shit. Like they're just like yeah, it's like my wife, right? She was saying like oh no, you bring spirits back and it's bad, and they have this shit where you get like before you walk in the house you have to get salt. And throw it over your shoulders and shit. And yeah, so you could get rid of the spirits, like all the harmful spirits or just spirits in general.
Whatever attaches itself to.
Yeah, and when I went in there, because if you saw it when I went to that little area where it's like, dude, it's a fucking little room, and you go in there and you just see those pellet holes, and it's like this is where they fucking committed suicide. It's like, dude, that's a creepy ass room, dude. Like what? Like I can't imagine because it's always like nighttime in there, as you remember. But I can imagine being there like midnight.
With
Like,
no lights
fuck
or
that,
shit.
So
dude.
think about this. So like that
So
was
they didn't have any electricity back then, like when they were doing that.
No,
or-
they have electricity and they had electricity because
Yeah.
they did have lights because there's
Okay,
no
I
way
was saying, like,
you would not be
they
able
had
to
to have
see.
lights in there.
But it
yeah.
was very dim though,
Yeah.
compared to what you see now. So like in the video, it was very bright because they have
Yeah, it was-
modern
Yeah.
lighting and everything. Back then, it was just a simple, quick,
small incandescent light bulb.
Yeah, and that was just one wire that ran throughout the complex.
Probably all in series.
And they talk about like when you're there, they'll talk about like a lot of people that were injured, like they had to sleep standing up because it's very fucking compressed.
narrow.
So you only get to see, I think it's like 25% of the tunnel or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very small because 75% of the tunnel they don't even know what's like. A lot of people explore it and like they do research and shit. But other than that, like you would get lost because it's dude. Even in that little bit that you're in, right? It almost feels like, oh, dude, am I in the right fucking like where am I at? Dude, it's a weird feeling, but
So,
fucks you up.
when I was stationed in mainland Japan, we had the opportunity to go to Okinawa. Not Okinawa. Fucking Iwo Jima, which is now Iwo.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
So which is now Iwato.
I want to go there so bad.
So we were allowed, if I remember right, 5 hours from the time we landed to the time we had to depart. We had 5 hours on the island. So we had to make our way from the flight line. We had to walk our way all the way up Suribachi to the top, and it's still an active volcano because when you get up there, you can smell the sulfur. You can literally.
I was
see
going to
it,
say
you
that's
know?
what they call Sulphur Island, right?
Yeah, you can still see the sulfur and the fumes coming out of the area and everything. But along the route, you could actually go into the tunnels of Iwato, and you can literally go down as far as you as far as you want, but they don't have it blocked off because typically it's not a tourist area. It's normally just it's still an active Japanese air station. So you go down in there and you just you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? And there's a certain point you're like, well, you're looking at your clock, you're like, well, I can't waste too much time here. I'm never gonna make it up fucking Suribachi.
Yeah.
So, you make that route. We went down, we got left the flight line, maybe about 300 meters. There's their first bunker. You go down in it, oh shit, you can see everything. Then you come back up and you run down to the beach, the black sands, where thousands and thousands of fucking Marines died.
Yeah, fucking everybody.
Yeah,
Shit. Japanese, Marines,
Everybody died, And
Yeah.
they attempt to hold and take the island all at the same time.
Do they still have the spot where they raised the flag? Like,
Yeah.
is it like?
No.
Like-
So the actual the monument is different. So it's not like you don't have like what you have in Washington D.C. You don't have a monument like that. You have
No, but they don't have like like hey, this is where the plant.
they do have a plaque. They do have an actual like,
Okay,
couple
that's
of
right,
crosses
yeah.
with a bunch of dog tags that people that have gone up there, people in the past, all up there, right on top. It's all up there. And
That's
I have pictures of it, so maybe at some point I'll send them to y'all so you guys can actually
Yeah, that's
post
cool,
them
man.
as well. For
I still hate on this motherfucker because he still has that little bottle of the Iwo Jima sand.
That's right there.
I'm like, fucking give it to me, dude. He never wants to give it to me.
That's mine.
He's like, that's mine. He's like, that's mine. I was like, God damn it, I want that. So you spend 5 hours. For a civilian, is there? I had saw that there's like tours, right? Or is that correct? Or am I wrong?
As far as I know, I don't recall any civilian tours.
I think you have to get permission from the
You have
government
to
and
get
all that
governmental
shit.
permission
Yeah.
to go there. Yeah, and I'm sure that the government has, a quota or so many flights a year to the actual island.
I'm sure you have to pay a shitload of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do know like they do hold an anniversary every year for both Japanese and military service members that if they're still alive, to go there and visit the island.
Those tunnels are fucking dude. They're just creepy as fuck. I know. Did you feel creeped out? I did, dude. I was like, holy shit, dude. It's like so many people died in this.
I wouldn't say it was creeped out. I was more, like a humbling. It was more of an environment where, being a combat veteran and understanding what they went through in order for me to get to where I'm at now and to get where, where the U.S. is now. Because again, this was a conflict that was, out of the blue. It happened,
Yeah.
41 it happened.
It's just crazy to meet your end in that kind of fucking atmosphere, like just a little tunnel, like
Yeah,
dude.
think about it, about to commit suicide like in a dark, small place.
Yeah,
that.
like that. Just like that. Just
Imagine
that there,
imagine the mindset that he had to be in. Just
yeah, you're just like banzai, boom. Just
I doubt
done.
it was even that. I think it was just more.
No, that's what they said. They used to say banzai before they fucking committed suicide. They would say like banzai. They use banzai for that, and they also use banzai for celebrations.
Yeah.
So like if you get a promotion, right, they'll say banzai, banzai, and they do that shit quite a bit. Like you'll see in politicians. Like I'm sure you saw the TV a lot. When like a politician wins, they do that shit all the time. And we also do that with the kids. So like to raise your hands, we say banzai. So like when we take off their shirts, like when to get in the bath, we'll say banzai, and then they raise their hands, and we kind of like take off their shirts. Like so they use it different aspects.
Nah, I thought they did that in their last days.
No, they do that. They say they have records of them. Like they would say they would hit the little like grenade on their helmet, and they would say banzai.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
banzai.
So the
boom.
grenades there, they had a variety during, particularly in World War II. One of the ones that they had that was very unique was a clay. It was perfect cylinder made of clay, and on top it had that little fuse. So with that, would actually set it off and start the fuse process in 10 seconds. It would detonate.
So even a grenade right now, right? How many seconds do you get?
That's 100%. It varies on the type of grenade, the manufacturer. Some last 2 to 3 seconds. Some last 3 to 4 seconons.
Oh shit! Okay.
It really depends. So
I always wanted to throw one. You threw a few?
I've thrown a grenade.
Dude, that'd be fun, right? Just imagine you're
Hell no.
you're one.
I'll be. Oh, I dropped it. Shit.
I've
You
seen
just
that
go like
I've seen that
that.
happen.
It's all there. Fool. You seen that happen?
Uh-huh. It's hilarious as shit.
Oh, dude, that would be the opposite of hilarious.
Again, this is the difference between some
Everyone
military
run.
personnel. Military guys, and
I know, I would think
they
it's-
have that kind of like sadistic kind of humor.
Oh, dude, I know.
Death, pain, it's like
Look at
whatever that.
Look
shit.
at that piece of shit blowing up.
To
over
be
there.
like Abe Simpson, where he throws his helmet on and like.
Oh yeah, he's up. But I remember you're gonna say that once one of the stories where you almost died or something.
Yeah. There's
Sorry, that's a good one. I like that.
we were myself and my team member were stationed in Afghanistan and Leatherneck, which was the main fortification there for the military overall, and we got attached to the Marine Corps Special Forces for several ops, and this one in particular was actually kind of fun because we get attached to that for what we were told in about 6 days. And on day 2, we land early. Day 1, we land early in the morning. It's like 3 in the morning. We're in the middle of a fucking butt-fuck nowhere field, cold as fuck. And then the night starts off with us stopping, being really cold, and then we get shot at by other Afghan forces that are friendly because they just didn't ID us. They couldn't ID us correctly, so they start shooting at us. Eventually, communications happen. Hey, we're American. We're with you, so stop fucking with us. Anyways, we push forward. And then later that morning, we occupy a compound. We talk to the local there. They give them, hey, shut the fuck up and just, we'll give you money, just shut up and stay here. And then all we're doing for like 2 hours is waiting, just waiting. We're like, yeah, nothing's happening. Like,
I'm just thinking about that, but like only in war, right? It's like they're shooting at us. Hey, we're friendly. Oh, okay, I'm bad. Like it's
Hey,
like
chill.
no harm, no
We're
foul.
cool. We're cool.
Like in regular life, it'd be like, bitch, you fucking shot.
so like we're sitting there and we're like, well, fuck,
That's all. Hey, come on, we're in the same team here. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I almost shot you in the head.
Shit,
there,
man.
buddy.
Wasted like 3 bullets on you.
That just shows like real life and like war, right? Like that's
This is 100% how it happened. I mean,
no, I know. I totally believe you. It's funny like that.
The EOD technician, the Special Forces technician that was supposed to be there, he obviously was occupied with another mission. So we supported them in that regard. And that morning, we're just waiting around. We're like, fuck. And then the MARSOC, the Special Forces guy, Marine Corps Special Forces guy, he's like, hey, let's get shit started. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, you got explosives? I'm like, well, yeah. He's like,
yeah, I do.
He's like, what do you got? I'm like, I got a wall charge. I got some other charges. He's like, yeah, throw one over the wall. I'm like, okay, cool. So, I'm staff I'm like, fuck it. I'm I'm okay. I'll throw some explosives and let them, let's see what happens when they blow up. So I'm climbing on the roof. There's like between the top of the roof and the actual wall, there's like, about half a meter of a room. I'm crawling, I got everything set up. And I'm about to pull the charge to get it to start igniting. So I got like maybe 10 seconds. Once I pull that, I got 10 seconds for it to actually burn and detonate. The second I'm about to, pop it, what we call it, it's pop. I can hear it. That was an RPG hitting the wall not far from me.
Ooh.
Detonates on the wall. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay. Get up, like crawl off the wall and fall off. I'm like, fuck that shit. Like, okay, now it's going. For 3.5 hours, all we hear is gunfire, RPGs, and mortars.
Damn.
And the way we call it bracketing. What bracketing means is they're slowly walking their mortars into our position. So you can hear it. Boom, boom, boom. So it begins like, oh,
it's getting closer and
like
closer.
they're getting closer and closer to us.
Sorry, just because I'm kind of dumb. Those are the ones that they put in the little thing and pop.
They put in the tube and they drop in the tube and it just fucking fires
Just
out.
making sure I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But also, you just hear them getting closer.
We hear them getting closer, and
Oh,
we're there
dude,
for
that
like,
would fucking freak me out.
and
Like,
we
oh,
already know they're getting close. They're on our doorstep,
So you got to do something.
and then we start. My team member and I start blowing holes in the wall. Like we know we can hear the chatter on the ICOM. We hear them like, hey, we can hear them chattering, saying, hey, we're getting closer. We're gonna surround the surround the compound. And as we start blowing holes in the wall, we start seeing them. Start seeing them in the wall. Start seeing the fucking guys moving across the field. Like, so everybody, MARSOC, myself, my other team members, like, pop, pop. Just shooting rounds. People fall, people don't. Some people stop shooting, some people don't. And then eventually, they're on the horn. They're trying to get the air support, trying to get close air support, trying to get one of the helos that's nearby to come on in and throw some gunfire so we can get beef feet and get the fuck out. They were literally a couple hundred yards away. And we were there for 2 hours, 3 hours, just sitting there like, where's my support? I want to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Hey,
and
we're on our way.
And
Just wait.
And finally, when you can hear the gunship come in, it starts doing its round through the fucking, just.
Oh,
that one aircraft that, yeah.
The A-10, yeah, you hear it.
Dude, how does that shit sound in real life though?
It sounds, the way you hear it on the internet is exactly how it sounds in real life.
But just 100 times louder.
Yeah.
So like, do you have while you're in there, you have your protection, right?
Some days I'll have it on, like it's what we call the Peltors. It's almost like a headphones like this, but they immediately, the second the loud sound happens, it cancels it. But you can still hear conversations, just like me and you are talking.
So you could hear, you won't hear that shit, but you can hear conversations.
Because
Damn, that's badass.
Those are very expensive. Like me, I was a broadcast Marine, so.
Bro, get out there, Marine.
So
Cotton in his ears and put that.
and they expect
They
you,
just give you big tips.
when you deploy, they expect you to put earplugs in. I'm like, if I put earplugs in, I can't hear this guy next to me over here fucking yelling, hey, what's going on? Hey, contact right, contact left. So when I was there, sometimes I had earplugs, sometimes I didn't.
So do you have fucked up hearing because of that?
Yes.
Like complete, like, and
I
like,
lost a significant percentage of my hearing due to combat operations and just general.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. So
General
RPG,
combat.
how far was the RPG from you? What'd you
About
say?
4 meters.
What is that in feet?
3, 4, 12.
From here to the end of the TV.
Oh shit! God damn. So
And I
that
saw
shit
it.
just like,
Man, I saw it. I saw it.
Oh.
The second I saw it detonate, I'm like, okay.
I
literally-
would have loved to hear that gunship. Just
Yeah,
what is fucking
I've seen the Hercules. I've heard the Hercules. I didn't
okay,
see
what's
it.
that? Can you explain that?
The C-130 gun.
C-130? Yeah.
It fires I think it's a 25 millimeter cannon and a 105 millimeter cannon from the side of the ship.
So what is that taking out? Like a block? Or, I mean, like two blocks?
No, that's just fucking ammunition.
It should, so the 105 millimeter is about that big around and about yay big, and that's just filled with about, I don't know, less than a pound of fucking TNT.
There's a documentary on that aircraft.
But it's enough. It's enough to disturb the local vicinity in which you're trying to evade.
That has like a massive Gatling gun too.
Damn, that's bad, dude. I know I always see those fucking videos of that shit. I'm like, God, this looks like these huge fireworks.
I watched a lot of those documentaries, like even with the Warthog, that massive Gatling gun that it has in front of it.
30 millimeter fucking
Dude.
Gal 30.
It's designed specially
That's wrecking your
for
day.
yeah, it's designed especially for the aircraft because it produces the recoil to push the aircraft back during flight.
That's fucking wild, dude. God damn. I always regret not joining the fucking military, dude. I should have did that shit.
Again,
It's not for everybody.
No, I know, but I think I would have fucking like I don't know. I would have wanted to.
it's got its pros and cons. Again, it also depends on the service. It also depends on your job.
And the year you joined too, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I went in.
You went in when
I went in just
2002.
The Bush years, right?
2003, right?
Oh, so that was when the shit was happening.
It
Yeah,
was right as everything was happening.
yeah. 01, because it was what September 11th. So that was
It
end
wasn't
of the
long
year.
after
We
01
got
when-
Yeah, you
invaded
joined what, in 03?
Afghanistan.
You joined in 03, right?
Went in 03, yeah.
Yeah, because we invaded Afghanistan first, and then Iraq. Yeah, so that 03 was Iraq though, right? 03 was
the
Iraq, right?
Iraq War, I believe.
No, I think, well,
Yeah, Iraqi freedom.
officially, yes, but
Yeah.
the first conflict they went
Because
into
Fallujah was
Afghanistan.
03, wasn't it?
No, Fallujah was
06? Was it 06?
It was 06.
Holy
Fallujah was
shit!
06.
I thought it was like 03, 04.
No.
Damn. Okay.
Fallujah was 06.
Fallujah was the like
was
motherfuckers
big
in Fallujah were.
Hey,
That was like kick doors, right? They were just like get the fuck out.
Fallujah and Marja were the two biggest battles. In
what
Iraq.
was that? What was that war? Remember on? I don't remember the movie. It was Anchor Management, where Adam Sandler goes to that anchor management thing with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
God.
Grenada.
And his buddy, he was like, yeah, I did a bunch of time in Grenada. He goes, didn't that war last like 18 hours? Yeah.
It's
But I was there.
Like Desert Storm was fucking.
But what was
like,
what was Grenada?
wasn't it?
Desert Storm was officially supposed to be a few days. It lasted a little bit longer, but
Yeah, it was just like a bombardment, and I remember seeing that on the news because the first time when Desert Storm happened, I remember they showed it on the news, and they would just show like it was like nighttime, and they would just show these little lights like
that was
and
1990, I believe, 1990, 1991.
was it was 90? It had to be because I was old enough. I'm old enough to remember seeing it. On
It
TV.
was the early 90s.
Yeah, and it was just I remember thinking, dude, that's fucking cool. Like, look at that shit. I remember just thinking that because you just see like it was just black screen. You just see little dots.
Like I never.
They just bombarded the fuck out of him because he invaded Kuwait.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say invaded Kuwait. Then they said, fuck that, we're gonna back up Kuwait, and then it just became like we just annihilated. Like just fucking boom, and then but Saddam Hussein kept the dogs in check though, right?
He did.
Yeah, he was. I mean, dude, but his sons. Have you seen the documentaries on his sons? Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure you knew about him from Intel, but dude, his sons were psychopaths, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, yes, dude. They used to do sadistic shit. But you got to think about it, like it's even like in old England and all this shit. Like when you grow up and you could get whatever you want, and everybody's scared to tell you that you're doing anything wrong. I mean, how fucked up would you be if everything you did, everybody's just like, okay, yeah.
To you, it seemed right, and to everyone, and no one knew how
No,
to
but
tell
like,
you.
no matter what, like, hey, I'm gonna go fuck that dude's chick, and everybody's like, yo, yeah,
do it. Good idea. Good idea. Yeah,
It's like, and that guy has to literally like,
Okay, yeah.
here you go, because then now you're gonna get tortured in some fucking gulag in the middle of Iraq, like is. But I don't know how true that is, but they said like Saddam actually kept all the fucking dogs in check, just like the way like some of the cartel bosses and Gaddafi as well. Like when they killed Gaddafi, I mean, we started the biggest fucking slave trade ever in Africa, and it's you could probably speak on it more. I don't know. You think? Well, he kept like all the fucking psychos in line in
he
a way.
had his people where they were supposed to be in order to actually keep them in line, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what he ran it.
Because do you remember when they hung him? It was the first time I ever heard about YouTube was because of Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, when they
hanging.
hung him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard of YouTube. Because everybody kept telling me it's YouTube, and
Yeah,
I was like,
it was like a shitty video, but you still saw it.
They
Yeah.
fucking they just put the news on them.
That's before
fucking pop.
4K and everything.
They would never show that on YouTube ever. Like,
That was
again.
Oh, dude,
that was
no.
back in 210.
Dude, those were the fucking Wild West days of YouTube, bro. God damn, I wish I was around. I wish I would have had a channel.
Yeah, those were the 03, 04 days. I remember that. It was 2003, 2004.
I wish we could go back to that. We didn't know what we had, Chris.
We didn't listen.
We didn't.
All we had was fucking dial up and hope to God nobody fucking picked up the phone.
Please don't call me. I got bang bus
Nobody
on the tube.
call. No one pick up that phone. We're in the middle of a 6-hour download. We only got 30 minutes left. Boom. Oh, shit. We got to start over again.